Hello everybody and welcome to the Invincibles podcast with me, Marty, and of course Chris. We're all a little bit fragile today. Obviously we've been on set today with the Valentine's special featuring Ty. It's going to be great, that is, so check that out. But listen, I don't know how we're feeling about what's going on in the Arsenal world. I'll be really honest. I was looking forward to the game against Brentford. I'm not gonna lie. This game put out a statement win. They throw it back at Man City. I thought we was awful. The absolute performance from the team was said. Forget about the result. The performance. I think at the end of the day, we come out with a point, and I think it was a point earned in the end because I thought that Brentford were very, very good. But it was the way we went about it. Gabriel kicking the ball out in the first minute of the game, like, you know. Raya looking nervous as I've ever seen him before, like Timber putting in his worst performance, Zubimendi not playing, the front three. I'll take Gyökeres out of that. I'm going to put the four in there. Three out of the front four, non-existent. Didn't look like win. And then when we get 1-0 up, right, come on, defend it properly, and we don't. You know what I mean? Gabriel misses the header, who I thought was erratic all night. Obviously, like Odegaard didn't do a good job, but didn't do himself any favours for the goal. Bullet of an header, 1-1. Could have gone either way then. They had a great chance. And then obviously Martinelli at the end. But my overall thoughts were that the problems that I've seen in the past couple of years were there and evident in that game there. And I didn't want to see that. I thought we'd gone past that. But ultimately, we're still 4 points clear. It ain't the end of the world. So how are you feeling about it?
How am I feeling? I don't know what I feel more fragile about. I feel like I'm on a dating show with you two, or AFTV's answer to Love Island or something like that. In this Valentine's special with all this garb around, it's unbelievable. So on the game last night, it was disappointing. It was frustrating, and we didn't turn up. We didn't get. I think across the park. When you look at Gabriel, that was, for me, Timber's worst performance in an Arsenal shirt. I've seen this guy performs week in, week out. So some of those players that didn't perform, you kind of got to give them a bit of a blight. And obviously Declan Rice in parts wasn't, but in other parts I thought he was really good. So the first 20 minutes we were really poor, and then I think the game went in stages, and I just think. Listen, both teams had chances to win it. This Brentford side, they ain't no mugs. Do you know what I mean? They've lost 2 at home all season. Man City narrowly beat them. They've drawn 1. They've won the rest of them. They've had some good results there. They're tough. Attacking wise, I mean, look, I think we were lucky. They had some good chances. When Raya makes the mistake. And then the header, he makes the fantastic save, and then Thiago at the end, Mosquera, fantastic tackle. So it could have gone either way. And the thing about title races is, obviously I was hugely disappointed after the game yesterday. Now when you're watching these games, the emotions and stuff, but you've got to look at. I know both of you guys have obviously seen title races. Title races ain't straightforward. There's twists, turns, up, downs, left, right, sideways. And they have so many points, and that's what makes football so entertaining and so watchable.
Yeah, I don't want it.
I know you don't want it. I don't.
Chris, before we come in, one thing I will say, like, apart from Man City now, we ain't got to go away from home to a team in the top half of the table. That's a bonus.
Yeah. But
what's your thoughts?
When I was looking at that game yesterday, I'm thinking, if Mourinho hadn't got injured, these ain't excuses, because with Mourinho, that's 3 players in 1 we're missing from the team. And I'll tell you now, if he was on that pitch yesterday, they would have scored that goal. Secondly, Havertz, he's the cherry on the cake. The way we play, we've taken the cherry out, and we just didn't look right. And there's certain players in the Arsenal squad, I think, can get up this morning, look at themselves in the mirror, and say, "Are you giving everything to this title charge?" Now, some can say yes, but I'm going to upset you. There's a few ain't. And they've got to start growing up and getting their big boy pants on. I'm telling you, I've had enough. We have to win this league.
We've got to step up. Some players have got to step up. And I know I tell the players are getting a lot of criticism. It's all over the place. And Odegaard's getting a little bit, I felt, unjust yesterday. I thought he come on and took the game and put it into our favour. And then when he conceded the goal after that, and I know Chris is going to come back to me, he's injured again, and that's not good enough, you know what I mean? He looks a weak player to what he was 2 years ago. What's going on, like? And I think it's about time someone comes out and says it. Why are you so weak in the tackle now? Why are you getting pushed off the ball so much? What is going on with you, and why you keep picking up injury after injury? Is it his diet? I've heard today that someone's saying that he's a vegan, like, you know what I mean, and he's changed his diet. If that is the case, you know what I mean, then football ain't for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, you've got to be like, you know, Saka yesterday, like, you know what I mean? What was that substitution? He actually come on and done absolutely nothing.
And the elephant in the room.
Go on, say it.
Eze.
Yeah.
Now, when we signed him, I was over the moon. And then he had a wonderful performance against Tottenham. His little cameo against Man City when he looked.
Yeah, lovely.
And he's playing in that number 10 role. You've got to go looking for the ball.
Yeah.
You've got to go wide. You've got to get past. He's doing nothing. Now, what has happened to Eze? Why has he gone from a player that we beat Tottenham to? We spent 70 million quid on him. He's in the England World Cup squad. So he's gone from there. So now he's giving an impersonation of David Ilya.
The trouble with him now, and I don't know if you noticed this yesterday, it was pulled up to me yesterday on the way home. Watch it when you get home, and I did watch it, because when you're involved in the game, you don't see it and all that. But I urge anybody to watch it. When we didn't have the ball, you had Madueke and Eze not knowing what to do. There was like, what we doing here? When it come to the second half, Martin Odegaard come on and knew exactly what to do. Now, why have you got two players in the team, a game like Brentford, not knowing what they're doing? When this manager is fantastic at coaching, there's no two ways about it. We're a well-organised side. Why are they not doing their jobs properly?
There was a part when I saw Madueke, and it was a fantastic goal, great header, to get that power on it as well, going back. He did really well with that. But there were a couple of times in the game when I saw Brentford were pressing us, and he was literally walking back. And I'm like, mate, get on your bike. Like, there was a lack of intensity. And like you say, Eze was drifting around. You would have thought that Tottenham game would have been the start of his Arsenal career, to kick on, give him that confidence. And listen, we're seeing a player that's just not performing. I'll
say this in his defence, right? He played against Tottenham, right? Scored a couple of goals. Hat-trick, scored, brilliant, right? Odegaard was out injured at the time, right? When Odegaard was fit, right? Yeah, he was fit. The first game he started was Aston Villa. And Eze went from where he was playing to the left.
And he got
that goal.
Got substitute, and it was his fault. He let Cash go, and he was off at half time. So I don't think, for me, from the Villa Park game, that's where it's all gone downhill from him. Because, you know what I mean, I don't think he should have been put out on the left-hand side for that game. But he was. I understand why. You know, you want to get Odegaard back in, and there was a position available there. But at the end of the day...
Yeah, but the thing, you've got to be a bit more strong than that, like, you know. You can't let one mistake affect your whole Arsenal career.
No, you can't. You need to have the
mentality. I mean, that's worry. That means... what I'm listening there, is he mentally weak? You know,
well, a lot of these. Listen, I think personally Arsenal are the best team in the league. I'm going to say, I've said it all along, but mentally I don't know if we're up for it, boys. I really don't.
We've got to be, Lee.
And if we're not, that is the big worry. We've got to go forward now. FA Cup. For you, like, this is a sit where I'll sit there. I'll be relaxing. All it for me is Wednesday night now, going to Wolves, and for me, looking at it. You can't have passengers now, right? We've got injuries. at the end of the day, Havertz is out. We don't know how long for, right? I'm going to go into just one thing I'm going to ask you in a second about that. Havertz is out injured. You've got Odegaard who's limped out of the game right at the end of the day. Probably ain't going to be. So you've got to have it. Mourinho's not there that can play that role. So it is down to Eze now, like, you know. And I'm going to ask this question about Havertz, right? There's a press conference. Arteta's doing the press conference, right? You don't mention it.
Yeah,
and then 6 hours later, I've got a bloody journalist telling us what's going on. What is that right?
But the thing is,
I get that. Sorry, just quickly, I do get that because why give the other team information about?
Why give it to the journalist then? 6 hours later,
it's probably been leaked out the team or something like that. So I get that because you don't want to openly give who's available if you don't have to the other team.
But the thing is, with Arteta, he's not very forthcoming with injuries, is he?
No.
You know, we have a running joke here, don't we?
Yeah, how is the AFTV injury update?
You say, how long's he out for? Mikel goes 2 weeks. How long's he out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, a matter of weeks.
I totally agree. Listen, I'm getting fed up with it, all right? Because at the end of the day, right, I get on the train yesterday going down to the studio for the game. Saliba's out. Right, how do you know? Like, it's been leaked that he's out, right? And then, like, come kick-off time, yes, Saliba's not in the team, like. So I don't want to be. If there's a player out, I want my manager to tell me, right? Or the club. I don't want to hear it from a journalist. I don't want to hear it from somebody being leaked. But it's not a good fit. You know what I mean? Like, and Havertz is a big blow for us. So we've lost him. We've now lost. What it looks like Odegaard. So whatever happens, he's got to get. It's down to Mikel Arteta now to get a tune out of Eze because we need him.
Yeah.
Who plays in there? If Eze's not playing there, who's playing in there?
That's a good question. Trossard probably.
No, leave it out. You could put Saka in the middle, but
I said that earlier on in the predicted 11 with Ty. Maybe this is a game to have a look at Saka in the
Miles
team.
Lewis-Skelly.
Well, Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield as well.
I think, I hear it, and listen, I do get the concerns about there's been some games dropping point, obviously Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, and this draw, these draws, and I do...
Two wins out of 6, Mark.
Let's
throw it out there. 2 wins out of 6.
That form is...
And against... so 2 wins are against promoted teams.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
So
it's not great, look.
Okay, it's not, but we've got Wolves. The next 3 games we've got in the Premier League is Wolves, Tottenham and Chelsea. Okay, so they're 3 teams that historically Arteta does Arsenal and Arteta does very well against. Now, if we don't do well against those teams over these next 3 games, then after those 3 games, then I would think, okay, maybe there's an issue there. But we are still 4 points clear. We are top of the Champions League. We're in the Carabao Cup final. We're fighting on all fronts. That's a lot of football. That is a lot of football. And I get it. There's problems. Am I going to lose my head about it yet? No. But these next 3 games, listen, if we go to Wolves on Wednesday night and we don't get a result, we draw, that is not that would not be acceptable. They're basically relegated. They're not a good side at all. They're not, you need to be going there. You drop points there, and then obviously the Tottenham game, they've just brought in Ivan. Who is it? Ivan
Igor.
Yeah, Igor. Right. So, listen, that needs to be 3 points, and listen, the Chelsea game at the Emirates, we always do well in. So
the bottom line is, these players are 12 league games from glory. Forget the FA Cup.
Forget about Man City as well. It's about us.
You're 12 games plus a final in the League Cup.
Yeah.
And in these 12 games, you could become absolute legends. But it's up to you. And you've got to stop being pussies. You've got to stop being...
I agree.
I've had enough.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to grow up and go for that title. Because if you don't win it this year, that team will have to break the team up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I look at that game yesterday, and I think that all the things wrong, and people are going, "Oh, Arsenal bottling it, second again, they're singing it and all that." Right? Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, that is all of there all fueled by that performance yesterday, particularly that first half. And the one thing I'm going to blame Arteta for, right? I'm going to blame him for one thing is that we're 1-0 up. I get it at 0-0. He's bringing on Saka. I don't know what reason that he thought of bringing Saka on when you're 1-0 up, when they're basically putting like balls in the air from throw-ons and corners. How does he defend him? He's not great at defending him.
Well, he kicked it off of the throw-in,
it was
didn't
awful.
he?
So I do not understand.
He's got Ben White in Norgard.
Yeah. So I do not understand why he done that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could have put Ben White right back and put Timber forward a little bit or something. Just anything other than what he done. That is the only thing that I blame him for. I watched him in the first half and you could see he was furious. And I don't care what anybody says. There was a reaction at half time. It was a fantastic response.
Yep.
Right? He's gone in there and he's put it on them.
Yep.
Right? But there's got to be a time you cannot continue to keep putting it on them. How many more poor halves of football we going to have? When I look back at it, Sunderland, 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Rollicking from Arteta, and we come back 2-1 and we concede at the end. Like the Nottingham Forest game weren't good enough from the first half. There's been times at the Emirates this season when the first half went
West Ham, not West Ham, Aston Villa, yeah.
And then the second half, bang. So I think at times Arteta's doing his job in that dressing room. But we've got to do it before. You know, what is happening? Why are these players coming out in that first half? And I don't know how you guys feel about this and the people watching and all that. Like, I'm really buzzing for the game. Like, after 15 minutes, I'm thinking, oh no, we are in trouble.
You can tell.
You can tell. You can tell after 15 minutes.
I think, if I'm honest with you, with this Arsenal side, you can tell after 4 minutes of watching them. You know how the first half is going to go. After a few minutes, you can just tell whether they're disjointed or whether they're fluid. But the thing again, in the first half, I do kind of. When you don't get the job done like we didn't yesterday, then of course people are going to throw shade on it. But I've seen it. I remember against Atletico Madrid at home, we weren't particularly fantastic in the first half. We sized them up, and then we went and blitzed them. Now, obviously, we didn't go and blitz Brentford last night. We didn't get the job done, but it's kind of something that has worked in stage, and it's worked to a point of getting us to where we are. What I'm worried. Don't say worried. Am I worried about it? The only realistic concern, if I was to have any, is this now going to be a point? We've seen this before for the last 3 seasons, falling away.
Big worry for me, right? And we've all seen titles, we've all seen how we won and all that. I've seen us not play well in lots of games. I remember going up to Middlesbrough in 88-89, getting a 1-0 win on a Martin Hayes and on a bare Ayresome Park pitch.
Yeah.
It worked bobbly all over the place. But once we got the goal, that was it.
Yep.
I've seen us go 2-1 up against Sunderland. Right, go and defend it now. And I've seen Gabriel go flying in and miss the challenge like he did yesterday.
Yeah.
When it mattered yesterday, as bad as we were, we was 1-0 up. Shut the game down.
Do you know what the Arsenal should do? Is get a sports psychologist in.
Okay.
To work with their mental. Because it's got. The more I listen to Lee, the more I'm getting. It'll make me more worried. But there's obviously a mental fragile there, isn't there?
Well, I think there was after that game yesterday. I really do. The scenario is right. And I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to be sensible about everything. 9 points clear, right? With 20 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go at Anfield, 9 points clear. Then 8 points. You think, all right, 8 points, I still take that, right? Then it's down to 6. Then it's down to 3. Now it's 4.
Yeah.
It's been a big swing of points and all that, And I think that the players have got to switch off from all of that. I wouldn't even be bothering watching those games because at the end of the day, they go, you're watching those games. Then 2 teams are playing at the same time, you don't watch it.
And unfortunately, I think the next 6 games they kick off before us.
Apart from Wednesday.
Yeah, part of it. And the other thing I worry about that means City will have a game in hand, won't they? And it's against Palace. Remember what they did 2 years ago with the Tottenham game. They didn't play it to the last week of the season.
And it will probably be the last week
So
of the
you
season.
watch them try and do that again.
Yeah, of course.
It will be the reason that they're not playing at the same time as
they're in
us
the
is because
Champions
they're like Palace are in the Conference League, and they like it's the only reason that otherwise they would be playing at the same time. But listen, if we get the job done, it's 3 points. It's not whatever happens.
Yeah,
with
Wolves
3
is
points.
massively.
Wolves now becomes a massive game, massive game, and you know. The positives. Let's just get into it. Like the positives.
Please give me some. Please.
I'll give you a positive. I thought that was a terrible performance from us yesterday, but against a very, very good Brentford side. But we didn't lose.
And Mosquera's got to be the tackler of the season.
Mosquera tackler of the season, come in and done fantastically well. What a player! And I think that a lesson has got to be learned now for the manager is to trust your squad a little bit more. Like Ben White's coming in now, like, you know what I mean, like giving Timber a little bit of a break. Norgard getting a break, giving players a bit more of a. You know, I feel sorry for Ben White. Like, you know what I mean, like, yeah, you can't play against Sunderland, you can't play at Brentford. I tell you what, though, you play at Wigan against Wigan. How's that keeping everybody involved? You know what I mean, like, and then there's someone like Mosquera, like, yeah. Oh, you can't play against Sunderland, or you can't play against it, and then all of a sudden, Saliba's, you've got to chuck them in.
But the thing, I get that. But the thing with it is if you've got Jurriën Timber there, arguably probably one of the best right backs in the league, maybe Europe. I don't know.
Change it on the left-hand side, though, Marty. Change it on the left side,
Yeah,
didn't
but
he?
he's exhausted, Marty.
Yeah, but then okay, the left-hand side obviously Calafiori, but Calafiori and Hincapié are both sighted players, but both levels. And obviously Saliba and Gabriel. I mean, if Saliba's fit, you play him. I'm sorry, it's just one of those things. It's like the reason why Norgard can't get in the side, because if Zubamendi's fit and Rice is fit.
Yesterday wasn't a game for Zubamendi, mate. That's a Norgard game.
Yeah,
he wants his cake and eat it. What did he say about Eze Arteta? That's not his sort of game.
Yeah.
Well, I could say that's not Zubamendi's sort of game either.
No,
and it's not Saka's game coming on. I don't understand. I think at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying there, Mike, but I look at it and I go, look, our fullbacks are not just fullbacks that defend. It's not. They've got to get up and support.
Yeah.
There's a lot. You know, I mean, in the last minute of that game, all credit to him, mate. He's had the most horrendous game I've seen, but he's one-on-one in the last seconds. You know what I mean? And he's bursting through and all that. Like, and I think if it was at the beginning of the game, he'd have got away. You know. But what I'm saying is, there's an expectation and workload on our fullbacks, and there's a workload on our wingers, which alternately get break. But it doesn't seem to do it with Timber.
I think exactly what you just said. That one-on-one that Timber have, if he runs onto it, if he lifts that over Kelleher in the back of the net, or obviously squares it off to Martinelli, takes a touch, and then Kelleher makes listen, Martinelli did everything he needed to do, and he tried to get it over, and it's a fantastic save right at the death. Either one of those, listen, those we go wheeling off, celebrating how we've just gone and smashed and grabbed at Brentford. What a result, completely different mood, and that's how football goes with fine margins. And it's unfortunate.
I've seen this at Liverpool with 2-2. Yeah. Martinelli going through like missing. Like I've seen it at where was it, like
Forest away.
Forest away, like, you know what I mean, like last chance to win the game, you don't do it. Like it's a regular thing. And I tell you, like, you know, I think those goals get scored beginning of August,
but also
end of September. Is a little bit more pressure on them now.
Yeah, also, I spoke to a couple of Brentford fans actually, and they were saying, mates of mine, and they were saying, listen, what a great game it was, and the respect, they were saying how they could go toe-to-toe with probably the best team in Europe. And obviously, Thiago has been fantastic, had an off game, and would have usually buried that chance if it wasn't for last-ditch tackle from Mosquera. Yeah, it was unbelievable. And they were, you know, overly amazed, and they, you know, all said individually that we that's the poorest they've seen us play, which, you know, correlates to exactly my belief. Is that just you just put that down to a bad day at the office? Listen, we all have them. Here and there, it does happen, unfortunately, in life.
I don't live in the world where I expect Arsenal to win every game.
Yeah.
No,
And I don't think most normal people
no,
do.
it's fair. They're 7th in the league for a reason. A draw ain't a bad result at the end of the day, right? But what you've got, right? This forget about that. It's done. A draw at Wolves is not acceptable.
No.
Let's get that right.
Let's have that right.
So they've got to build for that. But obviously we've got to look at the game against Wigan. Wholesale changes for you?
Massive. I do not want to see any first team, what I call regulars, anywhere near that pitch. So I've got Kepa in goal.
Yes.
Go on.
I've got Ben White.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Calafiori a run as he needs the minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to play Mosquera.
Yeah.
I'm going to play young Salmon.
Okay.
Okay.
No Hincapie, no?
No.
Okay.
Resting. By
What about Miles Lewis?
Hincapie
Oh, there you
was
go.
superb.
Right.
Yeah, he played well the other night.
Yeah.
I'll give Martinelli wide, put him wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play Miles in midfield, so
Okay.
I want to see if he can do it. I'll play Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play Eze, who's going to get his finger out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Lever.
Norgard?
You've got to play Norgard.
Yeah,
You've
Norgard.
got to.
Yeah, sorry.
Who's your play on the right? Saka? Give him some minutes?
Yeah, I forgot about Norgard. Sorry about that. Yes, I'll give him some minutes, Saka. But I don't want to see any. And if it's 0-0 with 20 minutes to go, do not bring anyone on. You just stick with what you got. Seriously.
Just stick with them, no subs.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
I think we'll win it. Well, with famous last words.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, there's 20 minutes to go. You don't want to see him bringing all on the main artillery. I get that. You might. I'm with Chris. My bet. I'd play. I'd still play. Hincapie. I'd play Hincapie at left back.
Yes, so would I.
And Calafiori or swap them around.
I was thinking about Miles Lewis Skelly, but
Miles Lewis Skelly, I want to see him in midfield. In fact, I might actually walk in the stadium. If I don't see him in midfield, I might walk back out. There you go. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to play left back at this football club.
Yeah.
Right? You know, my mate Russ said to me the other day, yesterday, this morning, coming back what has he done from being a player that's played to us to get to the semi-finals of the Champions League, England, and he's been just disregarded, right?
Wrong.
When other players are putting in poor performances week in, week out, and still there.
I think he's just he's got Calafiori and Hincapie in front of him, and listen, I really rate Miles Lewis Kelly. I do. He's a young lad. He's got plenty.
He's not playing left back though, is he? So there's a opportunity to put him in midfield.
There's a lot of rumours about Chelsea sniffing around him, isn't there?
Oh yeah, clubs will be in for him. But
where would you play him?
what, Miles Lewis Kelly?
On Saturday, you're the manager. Sunday, where are you playing?
I'll probably play him at left back. I'm not going to lie.
So who's your midfield then?
Norgard, Eze, and I'd probably play Odegaard in there.
Well, Odegaard's not going to be out, isn't he?
If he's injured, then you can't play him. So
one of the youngsters, one of the academy boys.
nah, I probably would play Declan Rice in there. To be honest.
What?
Yeah, I probably would.
You leave it out, Mark. You know, geezer's dead on his feet.
Yeah, no. Listen, Declan Rice play. Listen, he plays. This thing he does play. He's one of those players that can play games.
Where's this in the priority for you boys?
Nowhere.
The FA Cup.
I don't live in this fantasy land of doing quadruples.
I mean, look,
12 games to the title, 1 game to the League Cup.
Yeah, I am with
Everything
Chris
else
on
is
that.
a bonus.
Yeah, I am on. I am with Chris on. I am with Chris, but then also I don't like going into any game. It's Wigan at home. Even with the complete rotation, there is no reason why we can't give him a good going over. That's the truth of the situation. The quality that we possess in the squad is plenty good enough. When we start to, everyone's talking about this is the best squad we've assembled. I heard Ali McCoy talk about this is the best squad I've ever seen assembled. Not maybe the best first 11, but the best entire squad through quality. Because when you look at that team, there's every player like for like is quality. There's not one player that I wouldn't mind being in the first team at all. So when you consider that and you're going up against Wigan,
Sack their manager.
Come on, at the Emirates. Come on, this is our home. This is the FA Cup. This is our trophy, man. We dominate this. We've won it more times than anyone. So if it was a way to, I don't know, maybe Liverpool or whatever, a tougher game, there could be the notion of, do we need these games? But I agree with Chris. We just need to go and win 12 games, or realistically win 10 games and draw 2. I think that's more realistic. With winning the Premier League, to win 12 games on the bounce is a feat. Can we do that? Are we capable of doing it? Yes, I know Aston Villa did it with 11 games on the bounce. We're more than capable of doing that. But if I was being realistic with the league, win 10, draw 2, and I think that wraps it up. And obviously, if one of those that you win is against Manchester City, it's a done deal. And then obviously the Carabao Cup. That's you turn up for one game. All you got to do, I say all you've got to do is, like, it's that easy. You've got to go and win that game. You go all out and you win that game.
This is the interesting thing for me now. Like, this is the game on Sunday, where this is the only game left at this moment in time where there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the cup final now, like, there's pressure because it's a cup final.
Yeah.
The Champions League now has changed because it's a knockout.
Yeah.
Right. And
first leg.
It could be that the second leg. That's the thing, but
the first leg will
potentially
no pressure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You've got to get a result.
Yeah, you have, but not in the first leg,
but
because we'll take it at home.
Yeah.
We'll take it home.
And obviously, like, the pressure now, like the Wolves game now, boys. Let's talk about it before we go. Like the Wolves, like quickly predictions for the Wigan game.
For the Wigan game, that should be 3-0.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
And of course, then we go on to Wigan, Wolves.
2-0. You should go there and beat them 2-0.
It's a must-win game.
Yeah. Also, Strand Larsen's they've just sold Strand Larsen.
They've sold their whole squad.
Yeah,
they've
exactly.
got nothing left.
Firepower, and there's your chickens come home to roost when you can. There's only so long that you could keep selling your players and bringing in youth or going and farming players from these scouts, getting them from here, there, and everywhere. It's a matter of time. And listen, I think.
Would you be nervous?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be nervous against Wolves. We shouldn't be nervous going, listen, we're going to play Wolves at Molineux. You shouldn't be nervous going into a game like that. I don't get that mentality.
If we come back here next week, which will probably be next Thursday, and we haven't won that game, where's your head then? It's unthinkable, isn't it?
100%.
Please, Lee, don't say that, mate.
No.
Well, it certainly ruined
It really should. All right, I'm going to say it is. We should be going there going, how many is it going to be? Let's improve on our goal
100%.
average. That is what I should be. That is what we should be saying in this game here. Not, we've got to just win this game. This should be a game where you're going, right, let's knock up a few goals and get the old, make sure that if it does go to goal average, that we've got that.
We're 2 ahead at the moment.
We're 2 ahead at the moment, yeah.
You can't be letting a team like Wolves, they're fighting for points, not be the worst Premier League side.
They're finished.
Yeah, exactly. They're done. So you can't be looking for them to improve their points tally on you. That's just the thing. They're bottom. They're rock bottom. One of potentially the worst Premier League teams ever. You can't. If you're going to win titles, you need to be going. There is no excuses.
So you're going 2-0 for Wolves, Chris. What are you going?
I'm going to go 3-0 to the Arsenal.
3-0 to the Arsenal. I'm telling you, that's what I want to see. 3-0, 4-0, and I want to see us really.
I want to see no excuses.
No excuses,
Yeah, this time next week.
No excuses.
It could be.
Well, this time next week we worrying about Tottenham, but I couldn't give it at the moment. I couldn't give a monkeys about Spurs.
No. For me, as you say, it's the big game now is Wolves, and I'll tell you this now: the Wolves game is 1,000 times more important than the Tottenham game.
Right, Neil. You've got to take one game as it comes. The next game in front of you right now, they've got to focus on Wigan, get through Wigan, and then obviously it's on to Wolves and get the job done there, and then focus about.
Listen, we come to the end of the show. What I will say is that what I want next Thursday is talking about a good win against Wolves and looking forward to the North London derby.
And a smashing Tottenham.
But one step at a time, right? You know what I mean? Listen, thanks for watching. A quick one today because of the Valentine's special. Apparently all the girls are waiting now for
happy Valentine's
Ty.
Day,
You know what
guys.
I might hang around for half hour just to see, like, you know what I mean, like, you know. So, and it's a joke, like, we all want to be Ty for the day today, don't we, like, you know. So, Marty, Chris, thanks for joining us today.
Oh,
we'll
mate.
be back next week with the Invincibles when we'll be looking back slightly about the Wigan game, more intensely about Wolves, and looking forward to the North London derby. Take care, look after yourselves. Come on, you Gunners.